Hello, I'm Chris Witherspoon, and today I am joined by Daisy and Mica from the Bravo hit show Blood, Sweat, and Heels. Ladies, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
I'm such a fan of this show right now. And congrats on the big debut. It was huge numbers.
2.5 million lovely viewers.
The
That's
Bravo
amazing.
record.
What's been the feedback that you've gotten so far on this show and on your roles on the show?
Oh, people love the show. I mean, it's so funny to me because everywhere that I go to Trader Joe's, I go to the laundromat, everyone's very emotionally attached, and they're like, and let me tell you something, Daisy, that guy was a jerk. I mean, people are so, ready to, fight for me in defense. I'm like, no, guys, it's all right. It's okay. So I've gotten that they like the show, but they're very much attached, emotionally attached to the show.
And Mica, I think you're one of the must-see TV folks on the show. I love when you're on. You're a scene stiller for so many reasons. But I got to ask you, because I think there's been buzz out there about your race. People think that you're white. What is your race? Can you set the record straight?
Both of my parents are black. I am an African-American woman. And that has been my entire life the number one question with anyone I meet. What are you? Or they just assume I'm white. 98% of the time, they just assume I'm white. Oh, wow. And so I've heard many weird comments.
Has it been a problem when you tell people that you're black?
It has sometimes in dating, yes. The guy, if it was a guy who wasn't black, he would be like, what?
He thought you were white.
Yes.
Yeah,
he thought I was
I did until someone told me.
Yeah, see, it's all the time. I mean, that's the first go-to is, oh, she's white. And then when I tell them, they're just like, what?
Just hang out with her
people
for 5
tell
minutes.
me, I was in Atlantic City one time, and I was in the bathroom washing my hands, and there was this older white woman beside me, and she looks at me, she's like, oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, my God, you're so pretty. What are you? What's your nationality? It's number one question. What's your nationality? Who cares? And I'm washing my hands, and I go, oh, I'm black. She goes, what? I said, oh, I'm black. And she goes, no, you're much too beautiful to be black. And I said,
that is racist.
oh, I've had racist comments.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
I can believe it. I can believe it, though, because to look at you, you wouldn't think that. You wouldn't think that you're black, so I believe that would happen. How do you think that this show portrays young black businesswomen of color? Because there's sometimes you see these shows and they're a little turned up or ratchet, flipping tables, fighting, and there are some elements of bickering in this show.
Yeah.
But overall, how does this show portray young black businesswomen of color?
I mean, I think obviously we are all women of color, but it's not a show really about color. It's just about a show about girls in New York City who are successful but still striving for more success.
Was there a conscious effort, though, in your mind ever to say we don't want to fight, we don't want to get physical on this show?
Yeah, the main ones saying they didn't want to fight were the main ones,
who are fighting.
main ones causing the fights. And I just thought, it's so funny how people get Alzheimer's disease because
when the camera goes up, it's like somebody else comes to life.
Well, see, and for me, it's hard for me, but I think Mica might be right to know that when people see the cameras, do they change? Because I don't.
I think when you see a lot of these reality shows lately, you see the women with a glass of wine or a drink in hand.
Well, we drink a lot of wine.
I was going to say, I think that's partially why you have these scenes that are so emotional, which leads me to you, Mica. Everyone is always buzzing, and I think it's part of the show even, where you're drinking wine a lot. A lot of the cast members even say we need to intervene. She has an addiction.
That's the whole point that I'm talking about. So
Right.
these people who say they need to intervene don't know me. They just met me when we started filming. And to me, when the cameras went up, it was like, oh, how can I slay her? Oh, she's drinking, and she has a wild personality anyways, and she's drinking. Let me call her a drunk. Let me call her, let me label and judge her
But you
so I
have
can
no
get
alcohol
some drama.
problem.
No.
But
If I had an alcohol problem, I doubt Bravo would put me on the show. They don't cast alcoholics.
The fact that some people drink and they giggle more.
Yeah.
Some people drink and they fight more. So I just feel like,
Yeah.
are you serious? I think it's so offensive to label someone in such a direct, offensive way. Like, that's serious. You don't call someone a businesswoman an alcoholic or a drunk. You might say, oh, you get crazy when you drink. Or, no, I'm crazy all the time. And the contrast is that Mica has a personality that's very outgoing and it's very fun-loving. Some of the other girls have a different personality where they're a little more, their Spanx and their panties are a little bit, but in a bunch.
Yeah.
And so that's just a different personality. And I just think it's so offensive to call someone an alcoholic and then go on other shows and say, we never labeled you. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
I think the people who did label Mica that, I think they do owe her an apology because I think it's mean. I think it's mean, and I think it's really, really heartless.
Daisy and Mica, thank you so much, and thanks for tuning into Blood, Sweat, and Heels on Sundays at
9 p.m.
9 p.m.
On
on
Bravo.
Bravo.